In today's digital age, children are growing up surrounded by screens and social media platforms. But amidst the likes and shares, there's a silent concern looming over our youngest generation. Studies show that excessive social media use amongst elementary schoolers can have detrimental effects on their mental health.
So, as citizens, we have to take it upon ourselves to become better consumers of news, looking at sources, thinking before we share, and teaching our kids to become critical thinkers who know how to evaluate sources and separate opinion from fact.
For a brighter and healthier digital age, schools and parents must unite to address the impact of social media on their kids' development. Given this, I wanted to delve deeper into the issue by interviewing Sue, a 10-year-old active Snapchat user. Let's hear her perspective on how social media impacts her world.
I'm 10 years old right now, and I downloaded Snapchat when I was 10. So my Snap score is 2,871. Maybe a little bit differently.
What do you think? Would you feel bad that you don't have that part of your life anymore?
I think I would feel like more productive. So 7 times 7, basically, which
Wow.
is 49.
How much is it actually? Take a look.
Let's see. I hope it's less.
I would hope so too.
Okay. It says, okay, so my screen time, since it hasn't been a full week yet, it's still on Wednesday, so I haven't got into Thursday, Friday, or Saturday yet, but it went down 44% from last week, and my daily average is 2 hours and 7 minutes, and 57 minutes. I would be fine with it, but as long as it's not, as long as it's not, 10 minutes, an hour's good for screen time. Even if there was a class, I don't know if a lot of people would focus in it, because if a lot of people would think, oh, I already know a lot about social media, I don't need to know more. If they like to do chores, then, give them a few more chores to do, like doing laundry, doing dishes, that stuff. Or, maybe give them more, toys to play with. But if you have, brothers or sisters, then try and play with them. Or, maybe go outside and play with, your neighbors or something.
That's nice. Yeah. More social interaction, actual social interaction in person instead of doing everything online. It's a good answer.
Yeah, because sometimes the internet can be a little dangerous, because I see videos and I look in the comments, since I can't subscribe or comment or anything because I need to sign in and I don't want to, so I can't comment or anything, but I do look at the comments sometimes to see what everyone's opinion about the video is, and some people are rude to younger content creators.
I'm going to start with talking about some key findings from the interview. As we all seen, our interview with the 10-year-old girl who uses Snapchat provided some alarming insights into the impact of social media on young children. The girl has a Snap score of over 2,000, even though she's been using for the app for only less than a year. This level of activity suggests that she's deeply engaged with the platform. Moreover, she mentioned feeling addicted to Snapchat and indicated without social media, she'd likely to be more productive. The observation aligns with findings from the Cleveland Clinic, which highlights how excessive social media usage can impact children's behavior, leading to irritability, lack of focus, and reduced productivity. The Cleveland Clinic article also raises concern about the potential risk and negative effects of social media, including the pressure to maintain a certain online presence and the stress that comes with it. Despite the young age of our interviewee, she expressed a clear understanding of how social media affects her productivity. Moreover, she points out that she will be okay, and she's looking forward to if there's any educational courses in her school, as well as some level of parental control of her screen time. This self-awareness reinforced the need of parents and caregivers to closely monitor and guide their children's social media usage, as recommended by the Cleveland Clinic health experts. by examining the girl's experience and connecting it to the broader context provided by Cleveland Clinic research, we can better understand the potential risk associated with underage social media use. And the interview highlights the importance of creating healthy boundaries and promoting a balanced approach to social media for young children, especially those in elementary and middle school.
So now here we have some statistics that show the relationship between negative effects on teens and the amount of social media use they had daily. First off, we have this graph that splits teens between high and low usage of social media. In the group that has high usage, 41% say that they have an increased rate, they have poor mental health. On the other hand, for the low group, only 23% say they have poor mental health. This is a large difference between the two groups, and it shows that as social media usage increase, mental health degrades among these children. Next, there's a relationship between suicidal intent and social media use. For the group that has high social media use, 10% of teens say they've had suicidal intent in the past 12 months. This is compared with only 5% for those who have had low social media use. So not only do they have poor mental health, but they're have thoughts that are wanting them to act on this mental health additionally. This is not good. Next, we're looking at body image versus social media use. Again, splitting between the high and low usage of social media among teens. Those who had high usage, 17% of them said they had poor body image. This is compared to only 6% for those that said they had low social media use. Again, this is a large difference that is significant between these two groups, showing that social media use is having negative effects on our teens. Lastly, mental health versus parental monitoring, there is a significant difference. When you split the high usage social media teens between weak parental relationships and strong parental relationships, those whose parents are not really involved in watching what they do online, approximately 60% of them have had poor mental health. This is compared with only 25% who said they had poor mental health when they had a strong parental relationship, a strong parental monitoring of their social media use. This shows that by having parents and additionally schools take a notice of what their teens are doing online, you can drastically reduce the amount of kids that have poor mental health. And that is something that we definitely want and want to strive for.
So the question now becomes, how can we make it so children use social media less? And I think the root of this is in our habits, right? Because most of what we do is without thinking, right? Most of our behaviors are habit-based, right? We wake up, we go get coffee, we go to what's it called? We go to FML to get coffee, and we just do that automatically. So a lot of kids will go on their phone. I mean, especially like adults, like young adults like me, will just go on their phone and start scrolling social media out of habit. And so the solution becomes getting rid of this habit. And there's a man named James Clear. He was author of Atomic Habits, a New York Times bestseller. And while he was writing it, he wanted to stop using social media so he could just focus on the novel or the book. So what he did was he said to his assistant, okay, I want you to change the passwords on my phone. I mean, on my social media account, so I don't use social media during the week. Right. And she did that. And what he found was that his use of he didn't even want to use social media. Right. He cut down his use dramatically. And every Friday she would tell him the passwords and then he'd be able to use it again. But the point is that if our parents and the schools are able to implement this sort of thing. So for example, schools could make it so they take away their phones, therefore they can't use social media during the school days, or the parents on the flip side could say, okay, we're changing the passwords on your social media account from Monday to Friday, so now you can't use social media, right? And what the kids will eventually find is that it's really easy to stop using social media. And that will make it so that children are not using social media anymore, and they are now able to do so without too much resistance.